In the title, it's 7 Hobbit meals. These are meals. These aren't snacks. So, and speaking to that, a couple of things just to go over the next couple courses. Our lamb is from New Zealand. You probably figure out where that fits in. Of course, in everything, we're putting flowers in the salad. There's lavender in one of the cookies you're getting. We try and really think of the way that hobbits would cook. When they would ask me, like, what should I do? I'm like, yeah, just what would a hobbit do? So we'd figure, it'd be dirty or whatever. But we actually, in our Alamo Drafthouse way to really get into things, have hired somebody to sort of look at the menu since we're taking on tour and sort of dissect it for us and tell us more about it. So I'm going to bring him out to sort of talk more about hobbits and what they enjoy eating and what their diets are. So I can't see. Come on out, maybe you guys can figure it out. This guy, he knows a little bit about hobbits. He's been around them. He slept with them.
Hi, y'all. I know a thing or two, just one or three about hobbits. Hey, have y'all had, how many meals have you had thus far? 3.5. So what is that? It's 11s, you said?
They had lembas right before.
Oh, lembas? Oh, you make lembas bread?
Yeah.
Oh, that will sustain for long journeys. It expands in your stomach and can last for days.
Excellent.
Depending on the recipe, I don't know.
We make a little scone. We just
that's
sort of go
awesome.
British with it, so yeah.
Wow.
It's like a lemon cherry scone.
That is so cool.
Yeah,
I gotta come out for this meal because I haven't even looked at the menu.
I know. Well, hopefully you'll get the chance. Like I was telling them, we'll whatever. So the only question I have for Elijah is, where in the Shire do you get the best pipeweed? Would you consider South Farthing?
South Farthing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
I think it's the best weed in the Shire.
Excellent.
According to Gandalf, I believe.
So, excellent. So what we're going to do is you guys,
Never
here.
trust a
If
wizard.
anybody, I know you guys did, this is sort of a surprise, so if anybody has any questions, I've never really done a Q&A.
You're doing a great job so far.
I'm trying. I'm more of an egg flipper than a Q&A guy. So,
And a menu creator.
yes, thanks. The movie, for this movie, the movie kind of writes the menu. It's
That's
all
so
straight
fun.
from it. Yeah.
I love that you do that here. That's so
Yeah.
great. I was actually just in this theater for 24 hours. Which, y'all are here for 13, right? Yeah. Alright, so that's a fair amount of time as well. But I'm really delirious because I've not had any sleep at all. It was really great. Button-a-thon, I'm sure you guys are familiar with that. I love that you put candles. Are
We're
these?
trying to make it a special
Man,
thing.
you guys, this is so festive. I'm so glad I could join you for a little bit of this. Yeah, I can't see any of y'all. Do you have any
And
questions?
does anybody have a question?
Right up top.
Yeah, I see you there.
So did you ever go on the Milford Track in New Zealand?
I went to the Milford Sound, yes, which is really beautiful. What's that?
The sand.
Oh, they're buggers, aren't they? They'll get you. They're big, too. And they have those almost parrot-like birds there. The tuas? Kia. Thank you. They're really beautiful. But yeah, the Milford sounds lovely.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Not
Totally kidding, I'm totally kidding.
all right. Then I won't answer.
Was there a moment in the movie where you knew it was, when you were filming and shooting, that you knew it was going to be the best thing ever? And conversely, was there a moment where you knew, or you thought to yourself, this is really silly and could really suck?
Never thought that. The best thing ever, I think that is a 2-part concept. Because I think we were thinking about the movies and what the movies could ultimately be. And I think, relatively quickly in the process, because we went to New Zealand 2 months before we started shooting. We started principal photography in October of '99. I got to New Zealand, I think, at the end of August of '99. And the first 2 months were basically rehearsals, being exposed to all of the design work, horse training, sword training. And in that process, we saw all of the work that Weta had done, a lot of the sets that had been built. Bag End was already built at that stage. So just seeing all of that, it kind of brought us all down to the reality of what we were actually about to embark on and the level of work and passion and artistry that was involved, which was just so beyond any of us and so extraordinary. So we were kind of convinced that regardless of whether they would be what they kind of became for people in this sort of larger sense, that they were definitely going to be really beautiful pieces of work. And I think we all had a sense right away that we were about to embark on something that would be very special for us just in our lives. It was so unique. We were there for 16 months principal photography. We had this intrinsic sense that we would be friends for life and that we were embarking on a journey that was truly unique, unlike anything we'd had before or would have again. And I think that's the thing that stuck with us the most. I mean, we all got tattooed. Which was, funnily enough, an idea that I came up with really early on. I just had this sense that it was going to be a profound experience for us. I think like 3 months in, I was like, we should get tattoos. And they were like, oh. Wait, we're 3 months in, buddy. Let's just see how this thing pans out. It ended up being great, so. Any more questions? You in the back.
Yeah. What % of filming did you spend damp and wet and dirty?
Fucking 90%. Damn. Yeah. Either by sweat or just by being moist generally. Or the fact that the wardrobe was still moist from the day prior. Because when we were doing all that stuff on like Mount Doom and Mordor, and Frodo and Sam are sweating profusely as they're in this very arid, hot climate. To just keep the sweat so they didn't have to keep like putting water sprayers on us, they just put baby oil on. So it was like gross baby oil shirts for weeks. And dirt, after we were finished with fellowship, which was the cleanest process, pretty much everything from there on was caked dirt, caked blood, dirty little hobbits.
Yeah, they made your fingernails look atrocious.
Yeah.
How did you work on that? I mean, it was good.
It was. And if you can see in the fellowship, when I have the ring for the first time and I'm messing with it under the table at the Prancing Pony, Ian McKellen made fun of me. He said, "You bite your nails, Elijah." It's there forever. Can't change it. Yes, you, sir.
Did you steal any props?
I didn't steal anything. I have a few things. I've got there's a map in Bag End that there's a panning shot of the main living room in Bag End. And I think they actually kind of pan relatively closely to it. It's a map of Middle Earth that was taken from The Hobbit, so it actually has, what's the dragon in The Hobbit? Thank you. Good audience to ask these questions. So Smaug's in the right-hand corner. It was actually taken from The Hobbit, so I actually have that map framed, which is really beautiful. I have the ring. I have a pair of probably molding Hobbit feet. I haven't checked in a while. I don't know how well the silicone's gonna last. And I have a pair of ears. I've got Sting. Sting. We'll take a couple more. Yes?
I know in the commentary you said that you played TIG a lot. One of your favorite games.
Right, the made-up game that Dom and Bill later told me was made up, that I fully believed was real. That they kept making up these new directions for the game that would constantly confuse me. And I just kept trying to follow along, and it just got more and more convoluted till it wasn't until maybe a year later they're like, oh yeah, TIG's bullshit. Like, oh, great. But apparently people have actually tried to follow the rules online and take it seriously, so they've inadvertently, out of a joke, created a game, I think.
This one's very top.
Yes?
I was just wondering, when did you realize you weren't actually being interviewed by a German journalist?
Oh, yeah, good. God, that's so good. I'd say about 4 questions in, I knew something was amiss. The questions started to get really absurd. Maybe it was No, it was before the Do You Kick Balls? And the Flipper is Dead one was also like, whoa, this is definitely not a journalist. And my publicist was there, because I was doing all those interviews. That one came from a series of interviews that I was doing via satellite, and I couldn't actually see the people interviewing me, hence how they could get me like that. And my publicist was there, and she was like, should I stop it? And I was like, no. No, this is too good. I'm gonna find out what this is. And it was great. It was a really long night, because we were doing it via satellite while they were doing morning into evening. I was doing it from like 8 o'clock at night until 4 in the morning or something. So it was really exhausting, so it brought levity to that experience. I could just keep doing this, so I might just take 2 more and then let y'all get on with the movie.
What was the best thing about Namathon this year?
I would say my favorite film is probably True Grit. And I just saw Tron and it was fucking awesome. I loved it. It was so good. Yeah, we got to see about 8 minutes from Rango, which totally blew my mind. I had no idea what to expect out of that, so that's awesome. So I'll do one more.
Right up there.
Hi, did you watch Lost with Dom in it? Were you excited for his role in that?
Yeah, I started watching it once it started, and I got totally hooked, like I'm sure all of you did. Yeah, I was obsessed with that show. And I obviously watched it because he was on it, but then became a huge fan of the show and kept up with it and was just as obsessed as anyone else. I mean, I went online and did the occasional dig in for even more in-depth nerdy information. Which, dude, if you go down that rabbit hole, oh man. Well, look, y'all are about to watch probably one of my favorites of the 3. This is the extended cut of Two Towers, right? This is, I prefer this to the theatrical version, as I'm sure all you probably prefer the extended cut. This is a goodie. I wish I could stay and watch it with you guys. I haven't seen these movies in a while. I'm sorry?
Open seat.
Oh, do you have open seats? I thought it was sold out.
I like it was spread out. They're eating a lot.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you gotta. It's like the equivalent of unbuckling your belt buckle.
Yes.
You gotta have an extra seat next to you. Well, enjoy the films and enjoy the meals that he has provided for you. And
Thanks.
It's been a pleasure.